Hi, Robert. How are you?
I'm fine, Sharon. And yourself?
Very good, thank you. I'm Sharon from Global Healing Exchange, and I'm talking to Robert Kirby today from Heartfelt Relationships. And we are going to be talking about relationships and self-love. Um, I've had a bit of an experience and a bit of a wake-up call over the last couple of weeks, and the universe has been prompting me for weeks and weeks and weeks now, and I've been ignoring it. So, I've had, well, actually months. I've had depression and I've had anxiety and I've had my hair falling out, and I just kept pushing and I kept pushing and I kept pushing and I kept putting other people first and then forgetting about myself. And I know that so many people are doing that right now. And, you know, self-love is a really important thing that we need to do to attract the things that we want in our life. Because if we don't show the universe that we love ourselves, our vibration gets lower and we start attracting low vibration things to us. So it's really, really important that we, when we're looking for a partner or relationship or even a business relationship, with people, that we actually treat ourselves really, really well, so that we actually raise our vibrations and start attracting the things that we want. And I've invited Robert here because he is brilliant at this. He's all about raising vibrations. He does courses for people in Sydney on relationships and how to live from your heart. So I'm going to let you get a word in now, Robert, and say hi and tell people what you do, and let's talk about self-love.
Okay, great. Hi, everyone. Yeah, I'm Robert. Really love what I do. This is my 29th year, in the same field in personal development. And of course, this comes up over the years again and again and again. When you talk about relationships, it always starts with the self. And so interesting, it's fascinating, this ego part of the mind. Doesn't matter if you're male or female, what generation you're in, what culture you're in, this ego part wants to assign blame for what's going on outside of ourselves. And of course, those of us on a spiritual path know that's just not true. We are the cause. And it's true that we know, not just from spiritual practices or great spiritual teachers, that vibration is everything. We know now from modern science. Nikola Tesla said, if you want to know the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. And Einstein said, vibration is everything, and that's all there is to it. And that, he was a master of that. And we have a personal vibration. So I think, as you had suggested earlier, that self-love is the key. People want a great relationship, whether they're in a relationship or they're looking for someone special, or you're looking for a business partner, because you can't, you and I have been in business for a long time. You can't do it by yourself. You need excellent people who are as good as you at what you do, or the business is not going to go anywhere. It's going to plateau very quickly. So, birds of a feather flock together. If your vibration is not just bursting out of you, then the people you will attract will have that same sort of indecisiveness or insecurity. And that's what you'll be putting out. That's what you'll be putting out to the universe. So it is absolutely critical that we get our vibration together and we let go of what's not in truth.
So let's talk about how we can, put some self-love strategies in place so that we can start attracting these things. So maybe we can come up with, 3 to 5. I know there's many out there. Tips that we can give the viewers about what they can do to actually start loving themselves again. So, for instance, my act of self-love this week was to shave my hair off. So you can think out of the box a little bit. It doesn't always have to be something standard that everybody else says this is an act of self-love. But in your model of your world, what can you do to love yourself this week? So, Robert, what would be a strategy that you could help somebody with?
Okay, so one of the things that's really cool off the top of my head is that there's a part of us that knows that we have great things to offer, and then because of childhood conditioning, there's a part of us that doubts. So what you could do is very simply, like when you get up in the morning before you go to work or before you start the day in business, you stand in one spot and you just let the ego mind rattle off all the things that the inner critic wants to say about you. I'm not enough, I'm not attractive, I'm not desirable, no one loves me, I'm unlovable. and I'm not smart enough, and just get it off your chest, and then shake it off. Whether it takes you 30 seconds or a minute or 2 minutes to get it out. Any negativity you feel toward yourself, just speak it out. Now, just so the viewers know, this does not reinforce it. All it does is just gets that energy off your chest and out of your field. Then you go to another spot in the room and you start saying what you're feeling about how great you are, how much you have to offer, why you're unique, why you're exceptional, why you're lovable, why you're drop dead gorgeous, why anybody would be lucky to have you in a relationship, whether it's a romantic or business partnership, and why you're a natural born leader, what you can do to influence and inspire people, and speak it out loud. It's not being pretentious or arrogant or bragging. It's claiming your greatness. It's claiming your gifts. And what happens over time is that in the beginning, the inner critic will have the power in many, many people if they're struggling. And the part that's kind of say, what is good about me anyway? But as the days go on, remember, this is only going to take 2-3 minutes a day. So this is not something like you have to meditate for an hour and focus on brilliance or something like that. Those things help, but a lot of people don't have the time to do it. So this is really a beautiful thing to do. Another thing, Sharon, is mini meditations, because I know people are very pressed for time today. And so 2 things I want to say. Very few thoughts ever leave the aura of the person thinking those thoughts, except those backed up by emotional energy. So if your predominant thoughts are fear and anxiety and stress, that's what you're sending out to the universe, and that's what you're going to get back. So what I've created is this mini meditation where you think about what you want and you visualize yourself with that amazing lover, that life partner or business partner, whatever it is your heart's desire, financial security. And then once you get the image in your head, you back it up with incredible emotion about how exciting it's going to be when you actually do that. So we know from research that the brain can't tell if it's real or imagined. And so you just keep pumping that out for at least 30 seconds. A minute would be better, and then you stop. And then maybe if you have a break during the day, you do it again, and late in the afternoon, you do it again. Early evening, you do it again. So I call it the mini meditation. So it's a real blast. And the most important thing is you want those images, those pictures to leave your auric field, but they won't unless they're backed up by strong positive emotion.
That's brilliant. That's really good. And piggybacking on from what you said there about the mind not knowing the difference between what you're imagining and physical reality, a technique that I use within my clients when I'm working with them one-on-one, if I'm working on self-love with them, there's a really lovely technique, and it's really simple that somebody could do at home, is picturing like a helium balloon in front of them. And what I do is get them to visualize the balloon. So they're in a trance-like state, but we can do this without being in a trance-like state. So the viewers might want to do this with me now briefly. So just imagine it in front of you as a helium balloon. Inside that balloon, there is not helium, but there's self-love. And you're going to open that balloon and suck it into your body and just feel that self-love. Imagine a time that you felt love before in yourself, and just feel that self-love suffusing every cell in your body, and feel that vibration just moving around, and just feel that vibrant energy and relaxation, but this self-love and this contentment to be yourself and to be who you are. And just breathing that in. And it's amazing, because when this happens, your mind is believing that that is true right now. And what we do is we embed things like that. We embed different balloons. It could be self-love. It could be courage. It could be whatever the client feels that they're lacking at the time, to actually bring that balloon in and let it suffuse the body. And it helps release, the negative energy, but also put some positive energy into the cells in the body. And again, that's a beautiful thing that you can do really, really quickly. But if you do it on a daily basis, you can really, really start changing your reality. And it can be used in many ways, not just self-love.
That's exciting. Beautiful. The most important thing about getting to the other side of those parts of us, those bits that we don't love, is to start letting go of the past. Because people will hold on to the past and it'll burden them. they'll keep reactivating it. They'll talk to people about how they've been hurt, who betrayed them in a business deal. And there's a part of the ego that wants to recycle it over and over and over again. And I think letting go is the key to personal growth, personal development, healing, transformation, whatever you call that. If you're not willing to let go, then these things will come back and revisit over and over again. So I think that's one of the keys, to take a few minutes every day to be grateful for what you have, how amazing your life is. And, because our life is not just this life. This life is very quick. It's over in a heartbeat. But we have the gift of eternal life, but we don't want to, start to build up negativity in our shadow. We want to transform that shadow into the light by letting go of all that old stuff. And the ego wants to recycle it. Some people I notice really get a lot of juice out of being miserable and out of their negativity and that self-doubt and fear. And, they just want to give up hope, but there's some negative pleasure in it.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't like to admit that to themselves, that they get off on it in some way. And so that's just another wound. It's something learned. It's learned behavior from society.
Yeah.
That we can let.
I think so many of us carry this. Like, for instance, I know, this has happened in the last couple of weeks, but this is from stress and anxiety that I've had since childhood that I haven't let go of. I've done a lot of work, and every time you do it, there's another layer and another layer and another layer. But when I've gone deeper into why have I lost my hair and why, it's stress, it's anxiety, it's trauma from my mother. It's still there in my body. And because I didn't love myself as a child, I'm beating myself up, working crazy hours. I'm doing a 40-hour job. I'm running my business. I'm looking after everyone else. I've got about 1,000 dogs, actually 3 dogs that I look after. I don't have any time. I've been beating myself up this has been for the last year now. My body suddenly said, hey, enough's enough. So if we don't listen to ourselves, our body will give us a message, and it will come out in a form of disease within the body. So I think that's really, really key. We started off talking about relationships, but as we've got deeper into the conversation about self-love, it's really about our physical health as well.
It's so important. We have to slow down. Many times less is more. And we think the answer is to work more hours. We want a business. We're excited about a business, and it's not going the way we want it. So instead of working 30 hours, we work 40 hours or 50 hours. And then next thing you know, we're plateauing and then spiraling downward with our energy and vibration. It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it doesn't help anybody.
That's exciting.
It doesn't help anyone else either. So, going back to what we were talking about at the beginning, I've been doing 40 hours in my job. I've been doing a 60, 70-hour week for a very long time. I'm now going to be starting to attract negative things into my life because my energy is so low. So it's really, really vital that I actually need to doing less work, looking after myself, so that again, I can start lifting up, and attracting the things that, my business is going to help so many people, but until I help myself, it's not going to help anybody. So it's been a very big wake up call for me.
I'm so happy, Sharon. It's very exciting. You've made my day.
Yes. Thank you. All these years, I finally got it. It took my hair to fall out.
Yeah, well, look, who knows? Your hair may grow back. We don't know the future. It's not necessarily a life sentence, but it is certainly, I agree, it is a wake-up call. When the body has that, I think that from me overworking, that I developed coronary artery disease many years ago, and that I needed surgery and all kinds of medication, but I chose not to do it. I knew that I created it and that I could uncreate it, and now my triglycerides and cholesterol, good and bad cholesterol, is all normal, and so I did that without any medication or any surgery, and so I'm excited about it. I'm proud of it. So we can reverse anything. I really have faith that you can reverse this and have that beautiful hair flowing again, but who knows? Doesn't matter. You're beautiful anyway.
Thank you. I've got loads of wigs as well. So I found that, this week I just wanted to wear this, and I don't know, I guess this is part of the self-love and accepting where I'm at right now. But yeah, it doesn't matter to me whether I'm not attached to the hair, which is really interesting. But we've deviated again. We're talking about my hair. But you run courses, and I know that a lot of your courses, they're a self-love and raising vibration aspect to them. So
Yes.
could you tell us a little bit about them, and maybe tell us about your next one as well?
Okay, yes. So, I believe that I start with the premise that everybody's exceptional. And because of past conditioning, human beings tend to repeat the same things over and over again. And often people are either stuck or they're in a comfort zone. Some people will drop into crisis. As you know, we all have crisis from time to time. And what everybody wants and deserves is to be at the fourth tier, which is exceptional. And so in order to do that, we have to step out of that comfort zone. And that's what I create for people. I have an introductory course. It's free. It's called Heartfelt Relationships. As you know, I've been running 20 years. It just always fills up. It's the next one is the 21st, so week Saturday, at the East Leagues Club, beautiful venue on Spring Street in Bondi Junction. And it's close to public transport, and there's inexpensive parking right down the street. So people can come there. We serve teas and coffees to our guests, and we have a lot of handouts. And there is a VIP package. If you wanted to have a strategy session too afterwards. But that's $47. But the general admission is free. And so you have the link, so you can put the link below this, and people can click onto it if they want. But the best thing about it is you find out where your vibration is actually at. So we test it for you. We find out which of those 4 areas that you're in, whether you're in crisis, whether you're stuck, whether you're in your comfort zone, or whether you're at an exceptional place. And it doesn't matter if you're sort of looking for someone special, if you're dating, or if you're in a relationship and it's just plateauing. It's just a lot of times over time that the excitement kind of flatlines and people get stuck in their comfort zone. So it's good for both.
All right, lovely. So that's for anybody in Sydney. If people aren't in Sydney but they want to find you more, they'll be able to see you. You're one of our experts at Global Healing Exchange. We have heaps of videos you've done. Can you tell us quickly about the technique that you have discovered and that you teach on Global Healing Exchange, please?
Oh, yeah. You're talking about the Coherence 1, 2, 3.
I am.
Yeah. So it's a combination of 3 life-changing things. It's EFT and tapping, which I happen to be an expert in because I learned from the originator, the late psychologist, Dr. Roger Callahan. When he started it in the late 80s in Palm Springs, he didn't know, I didn't know, it would spread all over the world. It's very, very popular and powerful. So I have the stuff from the originator that's really powerful, that's kind of been left behind, some of the techniques. And then there's Psych K, psychology, kinesiology, that Bruce Lipton, the biologist, is always going on and on about. It's really nice. It's simple and powerful. And then I talk about brain spotting. I have this technique to get trauma out of the brain, and it happens very, very quickly. And so I like to teach that. And we have a course that we do. It's a 1-day course, but of course you and I will be doing it online very soon. So that'll be a nice upgrade.
Lovely. Well, Robert, as always, it's been brilliant speaking to you, and I'm sure we'll be doing this very regularly.
Yes, you look radiant, and blessings to your soul and to everyone else, and we'll talk soon. Bye, Sharon.
See you later.